You don't want to know. Okay, sorry. That was driving me crazy. I gotta pick up the garbage. How are you guys doing? Enjoying the sexcapades? Thanks, Pete. I don't really have a lot of sex jokes. The only time I really sound sexual is when I'm out of breath. So like if I walk up, like after walking up Jeff Hill, just hold on. Hold on, I'm coming. Oh, I think I'm gonna throw up. Hey, come up and see me sometime. Oh, this is just a little one. When I was in like the 8th grade, I had this great t-shirt that said, "Let's not ruin this with words." Which is like sexual, but also by definition ruined with words. So I'm gonna go rogue here for a minute and not talk about sex. I'm gonna talk about fire safety, because you can't have sex if you're dead. So a couple weeks ago, I was on the phone with my mother, and all of a sudden I heard this really loud noise, and I was like, "What's going on?" And then I walked out in the hallway and I was like, "Oh, Mom, my building's on fire, gotta go, bye." Hang up. She was concerned. So after I left my mother in a state of anxiety, I went outside, as you are supposed to do when a fire alarm is going off, and I called 911. And the other people started coming out of my building, and 2 girls came down, because I live on Court Street. 2 girls came down, they're like, "I need to go to CVS anyways," and they just walked right in the door. There were 2 guys who just like walked out of the building and just down the street, and they were gone, and I was like, okay. And I was standing there waiting, and so then some other people started coming out, and there were these guys, and they were like, "Are we supposed to come outside?" And I was like, yes. Did nobody else watch public television growing up? I feel like I'm the only one. You don't remember that episode of Sesame Street? There were a lot of episodes of Sesame Street that addressed fire safety. Anyway, so a couple fire trucks show up, and this one young gentleman decided to take it upon himself to Instagram them. So that was nice. I'm pretty sure he started the fire, and just decided to seize that photo op. So I'm sitting there for a while, and I live right above Ginger, which I love Ginger. I'm the Ginger who works at Ginger. Finally remembered my order. I'm so excited. Okay. Anyway, so every time I turned around to see if the firemen were still inside, I would look at the door to Ginger, and it was like dinner time, and I was real hungry, and I couldn't go back into my building because it was on fire. So I decided to get Ginger, and then when I came back out, all the people were still just standing there, but the fire trucks were gone. And so like everybody who lives in my building was just standing there. I'm like, can we go back in? They're like, "We don't know, can we?" I was like, the fire trucks are gone. I assume we're okay. And then they just followed me back into the building like little ducklings. But also, no one ever cleans out the lint filter in the laundry, and that's a fire hazard. That's not as funny to you, but it's gonna be an issue one day. Anyway, so sex and fire, sex with fire. Oh, I have these pads that have aloe on them. I just noticed this. I never noticed this before, and I was trying to figure out like why, and then I was like, oh, it's for my burning loins. Give it up for Hannah Ticoras! That's great.